Let's start with step 1. Step 1.
Step 1.
Ask yourself the hardest question. Let me ask you something very simple, but very serious. What's not working in your life right now? I'm not talking about what's annoying you. I'm not asking what made you upset today. I'm asking something much deeper. What is the one area of your life that feels broken? That feels out of control? That feels like it's stealing your peace every single day? You see, most people don't fix their lives, not because they're lazy, but because they never stop to ask the right question. They try to fix their mood. They try to fix their habits. But they don't stop to ask, what's the real reason I feel stuck? Until you ask the right question, you'll keep giving yourself the wrong answer. You'll say, I'm just tired. But deep down, you're heartbroken. I'm just lazy. But actually, you're overwhelmed. I don't feel like doing anything. But truthfully, you're scared to fail again. Here's the truth no one tells you. You cannot fix your life unless you're brutally honest about what's broken. Imagine a man named Ethan. Ethan wakes up late every morning. He scrolls his phone. He skips breakfast. He rushes to work. He comes back home tired. He eats junk. He watches YouTube until 2 a.m., then repeats. He thinks, I need to fix my sleep. I need to stop using my phone. I need to eat better. But deep inside, Ethan is afraid to ask the real question. Why do I feel like my life is meaningless? That's the root. That's the real crack in the wall. The other things, the phone, the food, the sleep, are just symptoms. So one day, Ethan stops everything. He goes into a quiet room. He writes one sentence at the top of a page. What's not working in my life? He sits, thinks. He doesn't scroll. He doesn't distract himself. He just faces the truth. And suddenly, the real answers come. I'm lonely. I don't respect the life I'm living. I don't feel proud of myself. That's when change starts. Because when you ask the real question, you finally give yourself the permission to fix the real problem. What you should do right now, find a notebook. Or open a blank note on your phone. Write this question. What's not working in my life? Then be honest. No one is watching. This is your moment of truth. Write everything that comes to your mind. Are you living someone else's life? Are you still carrying pain from your past? Are you scared to dream because you failed before? Are you wasting your time to avoid your own thoughts? The more honest you are, the more powerful this step becomes. Because you cannot rebuild your life until you know what needs to be rebuilt. Your life is like a house. You can paint the walls. You can buy new furniture. You can put flowers outside. But if the foundation is cracked, it will collapse again and again. This first step is about going deep into the foundation, finding that hidden crack, looking at it, facing it, owning it. Because after this, we will begin the process of healing it. And once you fix that root problem, your entire life starts to change. Don't run to the next step yet. Sit for 5 minutes. Ask the question. Write down what's really broken. Feel it. Accept it. And say, this ends today. I'm not ignoring this anymore. Step 2. Identify the root, not the excuse. Most people never fix their life because they keep fixing the wrong problem. They say, I'll sleep better. I'll stop using Instagram. I'll work out. I'll quit junk food. But after a few days, they quit again. Why? Why?
Because they were treating
Because
symptoms,
they were
not
literally
causes.
not
They were
causes.
trying to fix
They
the
were
results
trying to fix the
without
results
ever facing the
without ever
reason.
facing the
Let me
reason.
explain.
Let me explain.
If your roof is
If
leaking
your
and you keep cleaning the
roof is
floor,
leaking and you keep
the
cleaning
water
the
will
floor,
always come
the
back.
water will always
You
come
don't
back.
need a
You
towel.
don't need
You need to
a
fix the
towel.
hole in
You
the
need
roof.
to
Your
fix
life is the same.
Your life
That
is the same.
sadness, that anger,
That
that procrastination, that laziness, that fear, they are not the real problem. They are the signals, the result of a deeper cause. And until you find the cause, your life will stay in the same loop, no matter how motivated you feel. The root is the invisible, deep reason why you feel the way you feel. It could be a belief you accepted in childhood, a fear that controls you, a wound that was never healed, a failure that you still carry like weight on your back, a lie you've told yourself for years. And just like in a tree, the root is underground. You can't see it, but it controls everything. If the root is sick, the fruit will always be rotten. That's why this step is about going underground, facing what's really controlling your life from inside. Example. Let me tell you a story about a woman named Julia. Julia is 29 years old. Every year she makes big plans. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to stop watching Netflix. I'm going to become successful. She watches 50 motivational videos. She creates a perfect morning routine. She even buys a whiteboard and writes her goals. But after 2 weeks, she quits everything. Why? At first she says, I guess I'm just lazy. But one day her friend asks her, why do you always stop right when things are going well? Julia thinks about it. She reflects. And suddenly something painful rises in her mind. She remembers something her father used to say when she was a little girl. Don't try to do big things. You'll just fail like always. That one sentence, said 20 years ago, has been living in her brain all this time like a virus. It became her invisible belief. If I try too hard, I'll fail. And it will hurt. So it's safer to stay small. That belief is the root. It's the reason why she never finishes anything. It's the reason why she sabotages herself. It's the reason she gives up even when things are working. Now think about that. Was Julia's problem laziness? No. It was an invisible message buried deep in her memory that kept whispering, don't try. It's not safe. That's the kind of thing we mean when we say find the root. Let's go step by step. Take one problem in your life. Let's say I waste time. I don't feel motivated. I get angry easily. Now ask yourself, why? But don't stop at the first answer. For example, I waste time because I'm lazy. Why are you lazy? Because I feel tired all the time. Why do you feel tired? Because nothing excites me. Why don't you feel excited? Because I don't believe anything I do really matters. Now we're close to the root. Keep going deeper. The answer is not in the first 3 layers. It's in the 5th, 6th, or 7th. You need to become a detective of your own life. Dig until you find the belief that is controlling your thoughts and behavior silently. Excuse. I can't focus. Root. I'm scared of failure, so I distract myself. Excuse. I don't like reading. Root. I was told I'm not smart, so I avoid anything that makes me feel dumb. Excuse. I don't like people. Root. I was betrayed once, so I decided to protect myself by staying alone. Excuse. I have anger issues. Root. I feel like I'm never heard, so I scream to feel powerful. Can you see now? Everything you do, everything you avoid, Everything you feel comes from somewhere, and that somewhere is the root. Take your journal. Go back to what you wrote in step 1. Take one problem you identified, then go deeper with this exercise. Write this sentence 5 times with different endings. The real reason I struggle with is because... Here's an example. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I'm scared of disappointing myself. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I don't believe I'm capable. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I've always failed in the past. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I compare myself to perfect people online. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I've never had someone believe in me. By the 4th or 5th answer, you'll find something that hits you. That's your root. It might feel emotional. It might feel raw. You might even cry. That's a good thing. Because now, for the first time, you're facing the truth. And when you face the root, you take away its power. You can't fix your life in one day unless you face the root of what's been breaking it for years. The excuses, they are loud, but the truth, it's quiet, and it's waiting for you to listen. Dig deep, be honest. Don't be afraid of what you'll find. Because what you find is your starting point. And once you hold the root in your hand, you can finally plant something new. Step 3. The mirror rule. There are 2 versions of you. 1. The outside version, what others see. 2. The inside version, what only you see when you're alone. You can lie to others. You can wear a mask in front of your friends. You can smile when you're actually broken. You can post quotes online and still feel like a failure inside. But there's one person you can never lie to. And that's the person in the mirror. The mirror doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your stories. It doesn't care what people think about you. It shows the truth, raw and honest. And most people avoid it. Not because it's glass, but because it reflects their guilt, regret, and fear. This is why people scroll. This is why they stay busy. This is why they escape into food, noise, entertainment, and distractions. Because if they stood still and looked into the mirror, they'd have to finally answer the question, am I proud of the person I've become? That's why this step is not about self-help. It's about self-confrontation. And real transformation only starts when you stop running from your own reflection. Imagine a warrior's sword. After every battle, that sword is covered in dirt, blood, and scratches. But when the warrior wants to see if the blade is still strong, still straight, still whole, he doesn't look at the edge. He doesn't shake it. He doesn't guess. He does one thing. He holds it up to the light, tilts it, and looks at the reflection. Because that reflection tells the truth. If it's bent, the warrior knows it won't cut. If it's cracked, the warrior knows it could break. If it's dull, the warrior knows it needs sharpening. The sword itself doesn't speak, but the reflection reveals everything. You are the warrior, and your mirror is your truth. Every day you walk into battle against time, fear, anxiety, comparison, insecurity, disappointment, and your face in the mirror, it shows the truth of how you're fighting. You can't rebuild your life in a day unless you first look directly at who's holding the sword. And that's you. It's simple, but not easy. Stand in front of a mirror, no filters, no music, no lights, no talking, just silence, and look into your own eyes, not your hair, not your face, your eyes. Stay there. Hold the stare. Don't speak yet. Let yourself feel everything you've been running from. The disappointment, the guilt, the failures, the wasted time, the lies you told yourself, the promises you broke to yourself. Feel it. Don't escape it. Because this moment, this confrontation is where transformation begins. You must speak to yourself. Because the words you speak to yourself are more powerful than the words of any book, video, or teacher. Here are sentences you can speak into the mirror. Slowly, clearly, truthfully. I know I failed, but I'm not a failure. I have lied to myself, but I choose honesty from now. I've been weak, but I'm ready to become strong. I accept who I've been, but I'm not staying here. I still have time. I still have breath. That means I still have power. This isn't magic. It's not some positive affirmation game. It's a declaration of war against the version of you that has been living in fear, shame, laziness, or regret. This isn't just motivation. It's also psychology. When you look at yourself directly in a mirror and speak, you activate self-awareness, which is one of the highest human capabilities. It shifts your brain from autopilot to intention. It increases emotional processing. It creates a clear separation between the version of you that's suffering and the version of you that's choosing to fight back. In that moment, your words become commands, not just thoughts. Your brain hears your voice and says, "This is real. This is now. This is change." If you skip this, you'll go through the rest of this video with your mask still on. You'll collect advice, but you'll still be pretending. You'll nod your head, but you'll still be hiding. This step removes the mask. It brings you back into alignment with the most important person in your life, yourself. Because here's the truth. If you can't look yourself in the eyes and speak with power, you'll keep looking at your phone for someone else to validate you. Right after this step, do this. Go to your bathroom mirror or use your front camera. Set a timer for 3 minutes. No distractions. No background noise. Stare at your eyes. Say out loud, "This is the last day I lied to myself. I'm ready to rebuild. I am not who I was yesterday. Starting now, I will become someone I respect." Speak it slowly. Even if you feel nothing at first, keep speaking. You're not just changing how you look. You're changing who's behind the eyes. And once you do that, once you face yourself and speak truth into your own soul, you've already done something 99% of people will never do. The mirror isn't your enemy. It's your first friend in healing. It shows you what others can't see. It reflects your fears, your doubts, but also your strength, your desire, your fight. Use it. Because the day you start talking to the mirror is the day you stop begging the world to talk back to you. Step 4. Win the hour battle. Most people wake up with the dream of changing their entire life. And by lunchtime, they're already tired, distracted, and back in old habits. Why? Because they try to control 24 hours at once. But real change doesn't start with a day. It starts with a single hour. This hour is your battlefield, and it must be won completely, fully, without compromise. Imagine a giant forest filled with thousands of dead trees. It's dark, it's silent, it feels lifeless. You want to bring life back to this forest. But you can't plant 10,000 trees today. You can't water the entire land. You can't build new soil overnight. So what do? You choose one spot, one piece of ground. You clear it. You prepare the soil. You plant just one seed. And you protect it with everything you have for 1 hour.
for 1 hour.
You give that
You
seed
give
water,
that seed
sunlight, and
water,
space.
sunlight, and
You
space.
keep away the
You keep
crows.
away the
You
crows.
stay focused
You
on that
stay
one
focused on
spot
that
like your
one
life
spot
depends
like
on it.
your life
That's
depends
how
on it.
rebirth begins.
That's how rebirth
Your
begins.
mind
Your
is
mind
the
is the
forest,
forest.
and this
And
1
this
hour
1 hour
is the seed.
seed.
It means
It
choosing
means
one single
choosing
hour
one
today
single
where
hour
you
today where you
eliminate all
eliminate all
distractions.
distractions.
Focus on one
Focus
meaningful
on one
task.
meaningful task.
Protect your attention like it's
Protect
sacred.
your attention like
That hour is not
that
for
hour
scrolling,
is not
not
for
for
scrolling,
replying,
not
not for
replying,
consuming.
not for
It
consuming.
is for building.
It is for building.
And it doesn't matter what you
And
do in
it
that
doesn't
hour.
matter what you do in
What
that
matters
hour.
is how you
What
do
matters
it.
is how you
With
do
intention,
it. With intention,
with discipline,
with discipline,
with control.
with control.
Because when you
Because
finish
when
that
you
hour,
finish that
something
hour,
magical
something
happens.
magical happens.
You start to
You
believe in
start
yourself
believing
again.
yourself again.
Not because
Not
someone
because
motivated you,
someone motivated you,
but because you
but
proved
because
to your
you
own
prove
brain,
to your own brain,
I'm capable
I'm
of winning.
capable of winning.
How to win the
How to
hour,
win the
step
hour,
by step.
step by step.
Pick a time
Pick a
today.
time today.
Choose 1 hour.
Choose 1
Set it
hour.
now.
Set it
Make
now.
it sacred.
Make it
Choose a single
sacred.
task.
Choose a
Only
task.
one.
Only
Not
one,
5,
not
not
five,
3.
not
1.
three.
Clean one room.
Clean
Write
one
one page.
write
Study one
page,
topic.
study one topic.
Walk outside and
Walk
think.
outside and
Organize your
Organize
workspace.
your workspace.
Remove all distractions. Turn your phone off.
Turn your
Not
phone
silent.
on, not silent.
Off. Put it in another
Put
room.
it in another
This is
room.
war.
This is
Set a
war.
timer for 60
Set a
minutes.
timer
Begin.
for 6
Stay with the task.
Begin.
Stay with
the
yourself.
task. Stay with
When you
yourself.
finish,
When you
celebrate in
finish,
silence.
celebrate in silence.
Don't post it.
Don't post it.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
Just breathe.
Just
Sit
breathe.
and say,
Sit and
I
say,
won my first battle
I
today.
won my first battle
That's
today.
the beginning
That's
of real
the beginning of
transformation.
real transformation.
Winning 1 hour resets your
Winning
inner
1 hour
relationship with
resets
time,
your inner
energy,
relationship with
and
time, energy,
self-worth.
and self-worth.
Because time is
Because
not
time
your
is
enemy.
not your enemy.
Your phone is
Your
not your
phone is
enemy.
not your enemy.
Even your emotions are
Even
not your
emotions
enemy.
not your enemy.
Your enemy is the
Your
belief
enemy
that
is
you
the
can't
belief
control
that
your
you
own
can't
life.
control your own life.
This step destroys that belief with proof. You don't need to win
You
the
don't
whole
need
year
to
today.
win the whole
But if you
year.
can win 1 hour,
You can win
then
one.
tomorrow,
Then
you
tomorrow
can win
you
too.
can win too.
And one day,
And
you'll
one
look back
day
and realize
you'll
you
look back.
rebuilt your
You
entire
rebuilt
life
your
1
entire
hour at a
hour
time.
at a time.
Step 5.
Step 5.
Write it, burn
Write
it, let it die.
burn it, let it.
Some versions of you
Some
must be
version of
buried
you must
before the
bury.
new you can
Before
rise.
you can.
Inside your mind,
Inside
there are files,
there are files,
old memories,
old
old
memories,
emotions,
old
old
emotions,
stories.
old stories.
Some are beautiful,
Some
but
are
others are
beautiful,
poison.
but others are poison.
These toxic thoughts don't
These
scream.
toxic-
They whisper,
they whisper,
you're not
"You're
enough.
not enough.
You always
You
quit.
always quit.
No one really cares
No one
about
really
you.
care about you.
You'll fail
You'll
again.
fail it again.
These whispers
These
are
whispers
programs,
are programs.
and they've been
And,
running in your
they
brain
will
for
be running
years.
in your brain
You
for
cannot
years.
build a
You
powerful
cannot build a
life with this
powerful
kind
life
of
with
background
this kind
noise.
of background.
So you must
So you
take those
must take
thoughts
those thoughts
and
and
kill
kill
them.
them.
Imagine a giant
Imagine
mirror in a
giant
temple.
mirror in a temple.
It was once
It was
clear,
once clear,
pure,
pure,
shining.
shining.
But over the
But
years,
over the
dust,
years,
smoke, and
dust,
fingerprints have
smoke,
made
and
it foggy.
fingerprint made it.
You want to see
You
your
want
real
to see
face.
how real face.
You want to see
You want
clearly.
to see clearly.
But no matter how
And no
hard you
matter how
look,
hard you look,
all you see
all you
is
see
blur.
is blur.
Would you keep staring
Would
at the
you
fog
keep
forever?
staring at the blur?
No.
No.
You take a
You
cloth
take
and clean
cloth
it.
and clean it.
That cloth
That cloth
is this step.
is this step.
You must
You
remove what is
must
covering your
remove what
truth,
is covering
not with
you.
silence,
Not with
not with
silence,
thinking,
not with thinking,
but with
but
fire.
with fire.
Here's how it works.
Here's
Take a
how
pen
it works.
and a blank
Take a
page.
pen and a blank
Write down
page.
every
Write
dark
down
thing you're
every dark
carrying.
thing you're
Write the
carrying.
lies,
Write
the
the
pain,
lies, the
the
pain,
guilt,
the
the
guilt,
words that
the
broke you,
words that broke
the
you,
beliefs that
the
ruined
belief,
you, the regrets that
the
still
regret
haunt you.
that still haunt you.
Be brutally
Be
honest.
brutal honest.
Don't make it beautiful.
Don't make it
Don't edit.
beautiful.
Don't correct.
Don't edit.
Let
Don't
it bleed
correct.
onto the page.
Let-
Once it's done,
once it's
read it
done,
once.
read it once.
Just once.
Just once.
Quietly.
Quietly.
Alone.
Alone.
Then
Then
burn it.
burn it
Safely.
safely.
Watch the paper turn black.
Watch it.
Watch the
paper
words
turn
disappear.
black. Watch the words.
Watch the old version of you
Watch
turn
the
into
older version
smoke.
of you turn
When you
into
write a thought,
When you write
you
a
take it
thought,
out of
you
your
take
mental
it out of
storage.
your mental storage.
You transfer it
You
from your
transfer
nervous
it
system into the physical world.
That
That act
is
is releasing. And when
And
you
when
burn
you burn
it,
it,
you're doing
You are
something
doing
rare.
something rare.
You are telling
You
your
are telling
mind
your
and body,
mind and body.
this story
This
is over.
story is over.
This This version of me has died. This pain is not coming with me into the next chapter. And even though it sounds simple, your brain registers this as a transition. You begin to let go, not just emotionally, but biologically. Words you can write if you don't know where to start. I forgive myself for. I hate that I feel shame about. I still carry the voice of. I'm scared that I will always. These sentences unlock the pain. They bring up the old code, so you can destroy it. And once it's gone, you'll feel something that can't be explained. Freedom. Don't skip this. Don't say, I'll do it later. Do it today, right after this video, even if it's just a few lines. Because sometimes you don't need motivation. You need a funeral for your old life. And that's exactly what this step is. You cannot become a new person if you're still feeding old thoughts. You cannot create a future while carrying dead memories. The burn is not just about fire, it's about freedom. And freedom only comes to those who are willing to release what no longer serves them. Let it go. Burn it. And begin again. Because after this, you're no longer rebuilding the past. You're building something brand new. Step 6. Focus on one thing only. In a world that screams do more, chase everything, multitask all day, your mind becomes like a messy desk, full of papers, distractions, voices, and noise. You open one tab, then another, then another. Before you realize it, your brain is full, but you finished nothing. That's not power. That's chaos. You don't need more goals. You don't need more productivity hacks. You need focus. Pure, sharp, undivided focus. Because the human brain was not designed to do everything at once. It was designed to go deep. One thing at a time. And when you focus on one thing, you multiply your energy, your clarity, and your speed. Imagine a flashlight and a laser. A flashlight spreads light in all directions. It can light up a room, but it cannot cut through anything. Now think of a laser. It focuses all its light in one narrow, sharp line. And that focused beam can cut through steel. That's the difference between a scattered life and a focused life. You're not here to be a flashlight. You're here to become a laser. Your energy, your thoughts, your time must be directed at one meaningful target at a time. Because only then will your life start moving again. Focusing on one thing means when you're working, you're not scrolling. When you're reading, you're not switching to notifications. When you're healing, you're not pretending. When you're thinking, you're not talking. It means telling your mind, right now, this is the only thing that matters. Choose your priority task for the day. One thing, not 3, not 5. 1. Break everything else. Put away your other lists. Shut down all extra tabs. Silence every app that's fighting for your attention. Set a timer. Even 25 minutes is enough. Stay with the task. Stay with your breath. Keep your mind from jumping. Finish fully before switching. Completion creates confidence. Half-finished tasks create anxiety. When your mind learns to focus on one thing, it gets stronger, just like a muscle in the gym. Most people fail not because they're not talented, but because they keep stopping and starting. Focus is the bridge between ideas and results. And if you want to fix your life in one day, you must prove to yourself that you can stay with something until it's done. Even if it's small, even if it's quiet. Because that mental discipline is the beginning of real freedom. Step 7. Detach from the outcome. Learn to love the process. Let go of results. Fall in love with the climb. Here's a dangerous pattern. You start something. You work hard. But when you don't see results fast enough, you quit. This is the biggest silent killer of dreams. Because you're not addicted to growth. You're addicted to proof. You want the result today. You want the body after one workout, the peace after one meditation, the success after one post. But that mindset destroys progress. If you live for the outcome, you'll always feel like a failure. But if you fall in love with the process, you'll always be growing. This step is about freedom from pressure. Because the real winners in life are not the fastest. They're the ones who keep showing up without needing a prize. Imagine a mountain climber. He stands at the bottom of a huge mountain. He sees the top. It's beautiful, far away, shining in the clouds. But as he climbs, the fog comes in. He can't see the top anymore. If he climbs only to see the peak, he'll get frustrated. He'll think, what's the point? I can't see progress. I'm not getting closer. Maybe I should stop. But if he says, I'm climbing because this is who I am now. I'm climbing because this is what makes me stronger. I'm climbing because I grow with every step. Then it doesn't matter if the top is visible, because the journey itself becomes meaningful. That's how you build a life that doesn't collapse under pressure. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you show up and do the work. You stay consistent with discipline, but you don't become emotionally addicted to results. You don't say, if this doesn't work in 3 days, I'll quit. You say, even if it takes 300 days, I will keep going. Because true builders know success comes quietly, slowly, and without applause. Choose one thing in your life that feels slow. A habit, a goal, a routine. Stop measuring it today. Stop checking results every hour. Stop asking, is it working? Show up and focus only on the action. If you're reading, just read. If you're walking, just walk. If you're building something, build it fully. Trust the invisible growth. Just because you can't see the top doesn't mean you're not climbing. Most people are not tired. They're discouraged. They want proof that they're winning. And when it doesn't come fast enough, they feel broken again. This step frees you from that emotional prison. It gives you back your power. Because once you no longer need results to feel strong, you become unstoppable. Now you're not chasing something. You're becoming someone. And that is what it means to rebuild your life. Let go of the scoreboard. Let go of the numbers. Let go of the timeline. You don't need to see the full path. You only need to take the next step with full presence, full power, full heart. Because the person who walks without quitting becomes the person who wins, even without applause. Step 8. Accept that change is uncomfortable and necessary. Everyone says they want change. But what they really want is comfort inside change. They want a new life. But they don't want to feel fear. They want a new habit. But they don't want the awkward beginning. They want a new identity. But they don't want to leave the old one behind. And that's why most people stay the same for years. Not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand what change feels like. Real change is not comfortable. Real change feels like confusion, discomfort, emptiness, even fear. But here's the secret. That pain is not a problem. It's a sign you're growing. Imagine a snake living in the wild. Over time, the snake's body grows, but its skin becomes tight, itchy, old, uncomfortable. Now the snake doesn't hate its skin. That skin protected it. That skin carried it. But now it must shed that old skin, or it will die. So what does the snake do? It finds a sharp rock, and it begins rubbing, scraping, twisting, tearing that old skin off. It's painful, it's slow, it's vulnerable. But if it doesn't do that, the snake cannot survive the next season. Now imagine this. That old skin is your past self, and that rock is your discomfort. You must go through the scratch, the scrape, the awkwardness, because that's how the new version of you begins to breathe. You are going to feel awkward when you start new habits, doubt when you speak new truths, lonely when you walk away from old people, empty when you delete distractions, exposed when you finally stop pretending. That's normal. That's not failure. That's shedding. You're losing your old skin, and it will feel like something is missing. Because it is. Your old comfort zone is gone. And that's exactly what must happen for growth. Notice when discomfort comes. That moment when you feel awkward, lost, or scared. Pause. Instead of escaping it, speak this truth. This is not pain. This is proof I'm becoming someone new. Choose to stay inside the discomfort for 5 more minutes. Don't numb it. Don't run. Don't scroll. Just stay. Feel. Grow. Let discomfort be your teacher, not your enemy. Say, this uncomfortable moment is a gift. I'm stronger because of it. Growth has a language. But it's not spoken in words. It's spoken in discomfort. That moment when you feel lost, afraid, raw, that is not weakness. That is birth. You're not broken. You're becoming. And if you can sit with that pain instead of escaping it, you will rise into a version of yourself that no one can take away from you. Because comfort never built warriors. Discomfort did. Step 9. Find proof of the new you. You've done the work. You've faced yourself. You've cleaned the past. You've sat in silence. You've started rebuilding. But now comes the moment where doubt tries to return. That little voice in your head will whisper, maybe this won't last. Maybe I'm just pretending. What if I fall back into my old habits? And here's what you must understand. The only way to kill doubt is with evidence. You don't need motivation now. You need proof that the new version of you is real. Imagine a brick wall. Each day, a builder places one new brick. At first, it feels slow, pointless, invisible. But after a few days, there's a shape. After a week, there's a wall. After a month, it becomes a structure. Now the builder has something he didn't have before. Proof. He no longer has to say, I hope I'm building. He can say, look at the wall. It's happening. This is what you need in your mind. A wall of small bricks, small wins, visible change. Because when your brain sees it, it starts to believe it. Proof isn't about perfection. It's about showing your brain small, powerful signs that things are changing. Examples of proof. You woke up without snoozing. You ignored your phone and focused for 1 hour. You spoke kindly to yourself in the mirror. You did one hard thing you avoided for weeks. You showed discipline when no one was watching. You paused before reacting in anger. Each one is a brick. Each one is a new neural connection in your brain that says, I'm not who I used to be. How to create and track your proof. Get a notebook or blank page. Title it, Proof of the New Me. Every day, write down 3 things you did differently today. They can be small, they can be quiet, but they must be real. Look at that list every night.
every night.
You'll begin to see a new pattern form. A pattern of discipline. A pattern of self-respect. A pattern of momentum. This builds identity, not just habits. Because when you can say, I don't just want to change, I have proof I am changing. That's when the transformation becomes permanent. You cannot live in transformation if your brain keeps pulling you back into old identity. You must build a record of small victories, quiet wins, and real evidence. Because the world will doubt you. But if you believe in you, nothing else matters. That belief comes from proof, not from motivation, not from hope, but from consistent daily signs that you're not who you were yesterday. Track the proof. Look at it. Own it. Because every time you write a win, you erase a doubt. Step 10. Force yourself to win. There will always be a moment, today, tomorrow, next week, where you won't feel like doing the right thing. You'll wake up and think, I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. I just need a break. And if you wait for motivation to save you, you'll lose.
You will lose.
Motivation is a mood. It comes and goes. But movement is a decision. And this step teaches you how to move. Even when every part of your body and mind says, not today. Because once you master this, you become unstoppable. Imagine a huge metal door in the middle of a desert. It hasn't been opened in years. It's covered in rust. You push it lightly. Nothing happens. You push again. It groans. But still doesn't move. Now most people stop here. They say, this door is stuck. It's too hard. Maybe it's not meant to open. But if you push with full force, if you keep pressing, leaning, shaking it with your entire body, suddenly something cracks. The rust breaks. The hinges snap loose, and the door opens. Not because it wanted to, but because you forced it. This is your mind. Your body will say, not today. Your thoughts will say, it's pointless. Your habits will say, you failed before. And in that moment, you must do one thing. Move anyway. Not because you feel ready. But because you've decided you don't need to feel ready anymore. You don't want to go for that walk. Go anyway. You don't want to open your laptop. Open it anyway. You don't feel like writing that page. Write one line anyway. You want to scroll. Put the phone in another room anyway. The action itself doesn't need to be big. But the moment you do what you didn't feel like doing, your brain rewires. It says, oh, we're in charge now, not the mood, not the fear. You S. And that's when you start to win consistently. How to use this step today. Write this sentence on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere visible. I don't wait for energy. I create energy. Pick one action you've been avoiding today. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Just start. Just move. Just begin. Don't stop until the timer ends. After that, you'll have momentum. And likely, you'll keep going. Because here's the secret. You don't need 2 hours. You need 2 minutes of courage. Courage is the door. Movement is the key. Discipline is the reward. Everyone has goals. Few have movement. Everyone talks about change. Few take action when it's hard. If you only do the right thing when you feel like it, you will stay stuck for years. But the moment you force yourself, even once, you send a message to your entire nervous system. We don't negotiate anymore. And that identity, that discipline, that self-respect will change your entire life. Step 11. Screen off. Mood on. You can fix your habits. You can clean your space. You can focus your energy. But if you don't fix your attention, you will keep returning to chaos. And the number one thief of your attention is the device in your hand. Your screen doesn't just distract you. It disconnects you from yourself. This step is about reclaiming your mood, your presence, your peace. Because right now, your brain is being attacked by alerts, ads, endless scrolling, dopamine overload, fake inspiration. And all of it creates one result. You forget who you are. You forget that you have power. You forget that silence is sacred. You forget that presence is a weapon. This step brings you back. Imagine a beautiful, clear sky. Now imagine 1,000 planes flying across it every second, dropping smoke, sound, messages, images. Soon the sky turns gray. You can't see the sun. You can't feel the calm. You don't even remember what peace looks like. That's your mind. Under constant digital bombardment. And the only way to see the blue sky again is to clear the air, turn the planes off, let silence return, let clarity rise. This is not about deleting your phone. It's about owning your attention and choosing what gets access to your mind. 1 hour per day. Screen off, world off, cell phone, no phone, no music, no distractions. Just you with a notebook, a thought, a walk, a decision, a breath. This is not laziness, it is mental training. Because in that silence, your brain stops reacting and starts listening. You will notice what you're avoiding, what you truly want. What pain you're still holding. What dream still lives inside you. But you can't hear that when your screen is shouting. Set a mood hour in your day. Name it. Protect it. Turn off your phone completely. No silent mode. Off. Do something that brings you back to your center. Walk in silence. Write without purpose. Sit on the floor and breathe. Clean your room with music off. Watch the sky. Notice what thoughts come up. These are the truths hidden behind your distractions. You cannot fix your life in one day. If your mind is being controlled by everything outside of you. This hour is where you train your soul to lead again. Because your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Not your money, not your followers, not your schedule. Your attention decides who you become. And when you take it back from the noise, you become powerful again. You remember what matters. You feel what's real. And you reconnect with your mission. This is not a break. It's a return to silence, to self, to control. You're almost at the finish line now. There's only one final step left. The one that ties it all together. The final blow to fear, doubt, and hesitation. Step 12. Don't think, just do. Let's tell the truth. You've done the deep work. You asked hard questions. You faced your mirror. You let go of the old self. You won the hour. You found proof. You cleared your mind. But then what happens? You start thinking again. You hesitate. You plan too long. You wait for the right time. You overanalyze. And slowly, quietly, you become paralyzed. Too much thinking is the enemy of doing. Overthinking is where your courage goes to die. And this is the step where we kill that hesitation forever. This is not about acting blindly. It's about acting boldly. Without delay. Without doubt. Without overthinking yourself out of action. Because the truth is, you don't need another plan. You don't need more preparation. You need to move. Now. Imagine a person standing on the edge of a rooftop. Across from them is another building, connected by a strong, tight rope. They've trained. They've studied balance. They've watched others walk across. They've even rehearsed the steps in their mind 1,000 times. But now it's time to actually step onto the rope. And what do? They wait. They think. They replay everything that could go wrong. They hesitate. And in that moment, their body tenses, their confidence fades, their legs shake. Why? Not because they're not ready, but because they thought too much. If they had taken the first step immediately, they would have built momentum. But the longer they waited, the more they convinced themselves that they couldn't do it. That's what overthinking does. It replaces momentum with fear. And fear that grows inside the mind becomes heavier than reality. Your brain is like a rocket. The moment you decide, it builds power. But the moment you pause, it redirects that energy into fear. The longer you wait, the more time your brain has to. Imagine failure. Create excuses. Replay past trauma. Analyze worst-case scenarios. Convince you to stay in the safe zone. But here's the truth. The safest place is action. Because action removes fear. Action brings clarity. Action creates belief. And action rebuilds identity. You wake up. You think, should I get up or snooze? Don't think. Just get up. Should I work out or skip today? Don't think. Just start moving. Should I send that message? Don't think. Just send it. Should I begin writing now? Don't think. Just open the page. Should I speak up in this meeting? Don't think. Just raise your voice. Because the moment you start doing, your body catches up. Your mind clears. Your fear dies. When a thought enters your brain and you know it's the right thing to do, you have 5 seconds to act before your mind destroys it. Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. No thinking, no scrolling, no asking for advice. Just move. Because every second you hesitate, you lose power. But every second you act, you take it back. Say this to yourself today. I don't ask permission to grow. I don't need to feel ready. I need to move. I don't overthink power. I step into it. I don't wait for clarity. I create it through action. I don't let fear vote. I'm the only voice that matters. Say it. Own it. Live it. This is your new identity. How to practice this final step. Choose one action right now that you've been putting off for too long. Something small. Something simple. But something meaningful. A call you've been avoiding. A message you haven't replied to. A 10-minute workout. Cleaning one drawer. Throwing away one addiction. Sitting in silence with yourself. Now do this. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Do it before you finish this video. Before your brain pulls you back into comfort. Because if you do it now, right now, you will feel something powerful rise inside you. Not motivation. Not adrenaline. But power. The power to act. The power to break the loop. The power to move without fear. This is how you fix your life. Not in theory. Not someday. Today. So here you are. You've reached the end of something most people never begin. You've walked through every layer of yourself. Your mind, your pain, your discipline, your truth. And now, you're different. Not because you watched a video, but because you moved with it. You wrote. You faced yourself. You deleted what didn't belong. You did hard things. You made decisions. You didn't run. And if you followed these 12 steps, fully, honestly, even quietly, your life has already changed. Maybe not the outside yet, but inside. The engine is running. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not lost. You were just buried beneath noise, fear, and delay. But today, you dug yourself out. Today, you rebuilt. Today, you began again. And let me tell you something powerful. If you can change your direction in one day, you can change your entire life in 1 year. All it takes
All it
is the
takes
right start.
is the right
This
start.
was your
This
start.
was your start.
Now keep
Now
going.
keep going.
If this video
If
helped you
this
even
video
1%,
helped you even 1%,
don't keep it to
don't
yourself.
keep it to yourself.
Share it. Watch it again. And subscribe to this channel. Because we are building something bigger than content here. We are building identity, discipline, freedom, peace, power. And this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing the work. And remember, the next chapter of your life is unwritten. And you're holding the pen. Make it worth it.
Make it worth it.
Now go.
Now go.
Don't think.
Don't think.
Just do.
Your
life is waiting.
이렇게 해서 54분짜리 영어가 끝이 났네요. 제목이 뭐였지? 제목이 Fix Your Life in One Day. Fix Your Life in One Day. 괜찮은 내용이었던 것 같네요. 오늘은 3월 27일 두 번째 쉐도잉 시간이 되겠습니다. 제목은 How to Manage Your Time Effectively 라는 거네요.
Welcome to our channel, English Avenue. Today, we are going to talk about something that quietly controls your entire life. Time. You don't see it, you don't hear it. But it is always moving. Every second, it moves forward. And here is the truth most people ignore. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you are the pilot. That means you cannot stop time, but you can decide how you use it. You can waste it, or you can use it to build something meaningful. Look at your life honestly. How many times have you said, I will start tomorrow, I will do it later, I have time. And then days pass, weeks pass, months pass, nothing changes. Not because you are not capable, but because your time was not used in the right way. Everyone has 24 hours, rich or poor, student or working person, successful or struggling. The difference is not time. The difference is how people use it. Some people invest their time, they grow, they learn, they move forward. And some people waste their time, they delay, they distract themselves, they stay in the same place. So today, I want to change the way you see your time. I will give you 12 powerful tips that can help you take control of your day. Not complicated tips, simple, practical, and life-changing. If you apply even a few of them, your productivity will increase, your stress will reduce, and your life will start moving in the right direction. And at the same time, as you listen to this video, you are also improving your English. You are training your ears to understand. You are learning how to think clearly in English. You are building your confidence step by step. So don't just watch this video. Listen carefully. Feel the message. And if you really want to improve your English and your life together, subscribe and keep learning every day. 1. Wake up early and take control of your day. This is not just a habit. This is a decision. A decision that says, I will not let the day control me. I will control my day. Most people wake up late. They open their eyes and immediately feel pressure. They check their phone. They rush to get ready. They start their day without thinking. And from that moment, they are already behind. They are reacting to life. They are not leading it. But when you wake up early, everything changes. You give yourself something very powerful. Time before the world starts. Quiet time.
Quiet time.
Time where no one is asking you anything. Time where no one is distracting you. Time where your mind is fresh and clear. In that time, you can think. You can plan. You can prepare yourself mentally. You are not running. You are building your day step by step. How you start your morning decides how your whole day will go. If your morning is rushed, your day feels rushed. If your morning is calm and focused, your day becomes stronger. When you wake up early, you are not just waking up earlier. You are creating control. Control over your time. Control over your mind. Control over your actions. You don't feel lost. You don't feel confused. You don't waste your first hour on useless things. Instead, you use it for what matters. Maybe learning English. Maybe planning your goals. Maybe working on something important. And this creates momentum. Once your day starts strong, it continues strong. Now let me be honest. Waking up early is not easy in the beginning. Your body will resist. Your mind will make excuses. You will feel like sleeping more. But remember this. Comfort will keep you where you are. Discipline will take you where you want to go. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. suddenly. Start small. Wake up a little earlier than usual, even 20 or 30 minutes, and use that time wisely. That is enough to begin. Also, have a reason. Don't wake up early just to scroll your phone. Wake up early with purpose. Ask yourself, what will I do with this extra time? When you have a clear reason, waking up becomes easier. Imagine two people. One wakes up late, rushes, reacts, and feels stressed. The other wakes up early, plans, prepares, and moves with clarity. Same 24 hours, different results. This is the power of your morning. This is the power of control. So from today, make a decision. Don't let your day start without you. Wake up early, take control, and build your day with intention. Because if you don't control your morning, your day will control you. 2. Plan your day the night before. Most people don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because they don't have direction. They wake up in the morning and start thinking, what should I do today? And that one question wastes a lot of time. Because when you start your day without a clear plan, your mind becomes confused. You move from one thing to another. You start something and leave it in the middle. You choose easy tasks instead of important ones. And at the end of the day, you feel tired. But when you look back, you realize something painful. You were busy, but you were not productive. This happens because your day had no structure. Now imagine a different situation. You wake up in the morning and you already know what to do. You don't think. You don't waste time deciding. You just start. That is the power of planning your day the night before. When you plan at night, your brain gets clear instructions. You are telling your mind, this is what matters tomorrow. And your brain remembers it. So when you wake up, you are not confused. You are focused. This small habit can save you hours every day. Because decision-making takes energy. Every time you ask, what should I do now? You are using mental energy. And when your energy is gone, you start making poor choices. You delay important work. You choose distractions. You lose discipline. But when your day is already planned, you remove that pressure. You don't need to think again and again. You just follow the plan. Now let me make this very simple. You don't need a complicated system. You don't need a perfect schedule. You just need clarity. Before you sleep, take a few minutes and decide your next day. Think about what really matters, not everything, just the most important things. Because if you try to do everything, you will do nothing properly. So keep it simple. Choose a few tasks that truly move your life forward. Maybe learning English. Maybe finishing an important work task. Maybe improving your health. Write them down. When you write something, it becomes real. It is no longer just a thought. It becomes a commitment. And your brain takes it seriously. Now something very powerful happens. While you sleep, your brain is still working. It processes your plan. It prepares you. So when you wake up, you feel more ready, more clear, more focused. This is why planning at night feels so powerful. Because you are preparing your mind before the day even begins. Most people don't do this. They start their day without preparation. That is why they feel lost. But you will be different. You will wake up with direction. And direction creates confidence. When you know what to do, you feel stronger. You don't hesitate. You don't waste time. You just start. And starting is the hardest part. Once you start, momentum builds, and your whole day becomes smoother. Do not try to plan a perfect day. There is no perfect day. Life is unpredictable. Things will change. So keep your plan flexible. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even if you complete most of your important tasks, that is a successful day. Another important thing, do not overload your day. If you write too many tasks, you will feel pressure. And pressure leads to stress. Keep your plan realistic, something you can actually follow. Because consistency is more important than intensity. It is better to complete a few important tasks every day than to create a long list and complete nothing. Also remember this. Planning your day is not about controlling every minute. It is about giving your time a direction. Without direction, time disappears. With direction, time creates results. And this is what you want. You don't want to be busy. You want to be effective. So from today, before you sleep, take a few minutes. Think about your next day. Decide what matters. Write it down. And then sleep with clarity. Because when you wake up with clarity, your day becomes stronger. And when your days become stronger, your life becomes better. 3. To-do list. Most people keep everything in their mind. They think about tasks again and again. They try to remember everything. And because of that, their mind becomes full. Too many thoughts. Too many things to do. No clarity. This creates stress. Because your brain is not designed to store tasks. Your brain is designed to think, not to remember everything. When you keep everything in your head, you feel pressure. You feel like you have a lot to do, but you don't know where to start. This is where a simple to-do list becomes powerful. The moment you write your tasks down, your mind becomes lighter. Because now your tasks are not inside your head. They are in front of you, clear, visible, organized. This gives you control. Now you are not guessing what to do. You can see it. And when you can see it, you can act on it. A to-do list is not just a list. It is a decision. It is you deciding what matters today. When you write your tasks, you are telling your brain, this is important. Focus on this. And that creates direction. But many people still use to-do lists in the wrong way. They write too many tasks. 10 tasks, 15 tasks, 20 tasks. And then they feel overwhelmed. They look at the list and feel tired before even starting. So the goal is not to write everything. The goal is to write what matters. Keep it simple. Choose a few important tasks, not everything. Because when everything feels important, nothing is important. When you complete a task and mark it done, you feel progress. And progress creates motivation. You feel, I am moving forward. This keeps you going. Without a list, you work but don't feel progress. With a list, you can see your progress. So from today, stop keeping everything in your mind. Write it down. Keep it simple. Focus on what matters. And use your list as a guide, not as pressure. Because the goal is not to do everything. The goal is to do the right things. 4. Focus on one task at a time. People try to do many things at the same time. They check their phone while working. They switch between tasks again and again. They start something and don't finish it. This is called multitasking, and it looks productive. But in reality, it destroys your focus. When you try to do multiple things, your brain keeps switching. And every time you switch, you lose energy. You lose attention. You lose clarity. So even simple work becomes difficult. And it takes more time. Now imagine a different approach. You choose one task, just one. And you give it your full attention. No phone, no distraction, no switching. Just one task. Now your brain becomes stable. Your focus becomes deeper. Your work becomes faster and better. And most importantly, you finish what you start. Finishing tasks is very important. Because unfinished work creates stress. When you leave tasks in the middle, your mind keeps thinking about them. But when you complete something, your mind feels relaxed. You feel satisfied. Focus is not about doing more things. Focus is about doing fewer things with full attention. This is what creates real results. Instead of saying, I will do everything, say, I will do this one thing now. Complete it. Then move to the next. This creates a powerful rhythm. And once you build this habit, your productivity increases naturally. When you focus on one task, you improve your quality. Your work becomes better. Your thinking becomes clearer. Because your mind is not divided. So from today, stop trying to do everything at once. Choose one task. Give it your full attention. Complete it. Then move forward. Because success is not about doing many things. Success is about doing the right things with full focus. 5. Set clear goals, specific and measurable. Many people say they have goals, but their goals are not clear. They say things like, I want to be successful. I want to improve my English. I want to manage my time. These are not real goals. These are just ideas. And when your goal is not clear, your actions are also not clear. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to start. You don't know if you are improving. So you feel lost. Instead of saying, I want to improve my English, you say, I will practice speaking for 20 minutes every day. Now this is clear. You know exactly what to do. You know how long to do it. You can measure your progress. This is what makes a goal powerful. It is specific. It is measurable. When your goals are clear, your mind becomes focused. You don't waste time thinking. You don't feel confused. You move with direction, and direction saves time. Another important point. Clear goals reduce procrastination. Because most of the time, we delay things not because we are lazy, but because we are confused. When you don't know what to do, you avoid starting. But when your goal is simple and clear, starting becomes easy. Also, clear goals help you stay consistent. Because you can track your progress. You can see, did I do it today? Did I complete my task? This builds discipline. A weak goal is, I will study more. A strong goal is, I will study for 30 minutes today. You see the difference. One is unclear. One is actionable. So from today, stop setting big, unclear goals. Set small, clear goals. Make them specific. Make them measurable. Because clarity creates action, and action creates results. 6. Use small time blocks wisely. Most people think they need a lot of time to do something. They think, I need 2 hours to study. I need a full free day to work. I need the perfect time to start. So they wait. And because they wait, they waste time. You don't need a lot of time. You need to use small time properly. Think about your day. There are many small time blocks. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. These moments are usually wasted. Scrolling on the phone, watching random content, doing nothing important. But if you use these small blocks wisely, your whole day changes. If you use just 15 minutes daily to practice English, in 1 week, that is more than 1 hour. In 1 month, that is many hours of practice. This is how progress is built. Not in big moments, but in small, consistent actions. Small time blocks reduce resistance. When you think, I will work for 2 hours, your mind feels pressure. You delay. But when you say, I will do this for 15 minutes, it feels easy. You start. And once you start, you often continue. So small time blocks help you begin. And starting is the most important step. You can also use this method. Choose one task. Set a short time. Focus only on that task. No distraction. No switching. Just full attention. Even 20 minutes of deep focus is more powerful than 2 hours of distraction. This is how productive people work. They don't wait for perfect time. They use the time they have. So from today, stop thinking you don't have time. You have time. You just need to use it better. Use small moments. Use short blocks. Stay consistent. And slowly, your time will start working for you. 7. Avoid distractions completely. This is one of the biggest reasons people lose their time. Not because they don't have time, but because they lose it. Every day. In small pieces. Think about your day. You sit to work. After a few minutes, you check your phone. One notification, then another, then a message, then a video. You tell yourself, just 2 minutes. But those 2 minutes become 20 minutes, then 30 minutes. And suddenly, your focus is gone. This is how time disappears. Not in big mistakes, but in small distractions. Again and again. Distraction is not just a small problem. It is a silent destroyer of your time. Because every time you get distracted, you don't just lose time, you lose focus. And when you lose focus, your work becomes slower. Even simple tasks feel difficult. When you are focused, your mind is sharp. You understand faster. You think clearly. You work efficiently. But when you get distracted, your brain breaks its flow. And when you come back to your work, you need time to focus again. This wastes even more time. So the real damage of distraction is not just minutes. It is your attention. Now the question is, how do you avoid distractions? First, remove what distracts you. If your phone is the problem, keep it away. Not in your hand, not on your table. Keep it out of reach. Second, create a clear workspace. When you sit to work, make sure your environment is clean. No unnecessary things. No noise. No interruptions. Because your environment affects your focus. Third, decide your focus time. Tell yourself, for the next 20 minutes, I will only do this one task. No checking, no switching, just focus. This builds discipline. Fourth, understand your triggers. What distracts you the most? Social media, messages, random thoughts? Once you know your weakness, you can control it. Also remember this. You don't need motivation to avoid distractions. You need awareness. Every time you pick your phone, ask yourself, is this helping me or wasting my time? That one question can stop many distractions. You don't need to be perfect. You will get distracted sometimes. That is normal. But don't stay distracted. Come back quickly. Because focus is not about never losing attention. Focus is about returning quickly. So from today, protect your focus. Because your focus is your power. And when you control your focus, you control your time. 8. Take short breaks to stay fresh. Many people think working non-stop is productive. They sit for hours. They don't move. They don't take breaks. They believe this will help them do more. But the truth is different. Working without breaks makes you tired. Your mind becomes slow. Your focus becomes weak. And your work quality becomes poor. Your brain is not a machine. It needs rest. It needs recovery. And short breaks give you that. When you work continuously, your energy decreases. Your attention drops. You start making mistakes. You feel tired. But when you take a short break, your brain resets. You come back with fresh energy. You think better. You work faster. So breaks are not a waste of time. Breaks are an investment in your productivity. A good break is short and controlled, not long and distracting. A bad break looks like this. You open your phone, start scrolling, watch random videos, and suddenly, your 5-minute break becomes 30 minutes. Now you lose time and you lose focus. A good break is different. It is simple. You stand up, walk a little, drink water, relax your mind, take deep breaths. No phone, no distraction, just rest. This helps your brain recover. Breaks should be planned, not random. After some focused work, take a short break. Then come back. This creates a rhythm. Work, rest, work. And this rhythm increases your productivity. Also, breaks help you avoid burnout. If you work without rest, you feel exhausted. You lose motivation. You feel like quitting. But with breaks, your energy stays stable. You are not a machine. You are human. And humans work best with balance. So from today, don't try to work non-stop. Work with focus. Then take a short break. Then come back stronger. Because working more is not the goal. Working better is the goal. 9. Stop wasting time on unnecessary things. One of the biggest problems is not that people don't have time. The real problem is this. They give their time to things that don't matter. Look at your day honestly. How much time do you spend on things that actually improve your life? And how much time do you spend on things that give you nothing? Scrolling, watching random videos, checking your phone again and again, thinking without action. These things feel small, but they are not small. They slowly take your time, your energy, and your focus. Not everything deserves your time. Your time is limited. You cannot give it to everything. So you must choose. Every time you spend time on something, you are making a decision. You are saying, this is important. But the truth is, many things we do are not important. They are just habits. There are two types of activities. Things that move your life forward. Things that keep you in the same place. If you spend most of your time on the second type, your life will not change. So you need awareness. Before doing anything, ask yourself, is this helping me or wasting my time? This one question can change your decisions. You don't need to remove everything. You don't need to stop all entertainment, but you need limits. If you watch something, decide how much time. If you use your phone, use it with purpose. Don't let it control you. Many people waste time because they don't have clear priorities. When you don't know what matters, everything looks equal. And when everything is equal, you choose easy things. When you have a plan, you know what to focus on. And when you know what to focus on, you automatically reduce unnecessary activities. Also understand this. Time waste is not always visible. Sometimes it is hidden. Like overthinking. Thinking again and again without action. This also wastes time. Because thinking without action does not create results. So from today, be honest with yourself. Look at your habits. See where your time is going. And slowly remove what is not useful. You don't need to be perfect. Just improve step by step. Reduce one bad habit than another. Because when you remove unnecessary things, something powerful happens. You create space. Space for important work. Space for growth. Space for improvement. And that is how you take control of your time. 10. Delegate whenever possible. People try to do everything themselves. Every task, every responsibility, every small detail. And because of that, they become tired. They become slow. And they waste time on things that are not important. You don't need to do everything. You need to do what matters most. Your time is valuable. If you spend it on small tasks, you will not have time for important tasks. Now understand what delegation means. It means giving some tasks to others. Not because you are lazy, but because you want to focus on higher value work. If you have 10 tasks, not all are equal. Some tasks are very important. Some tasks are small. If you try to do everything yourself, your energy will go to small tasks, and your important work will suffer. But if you delegate small tasks, you create time. Time for thinking. Time for planning. Time for important actions. Now, not everyone can delegate everything, but everyone can delegate something. Maybe at home, maybe at work, maybe in small ways. Even simple things matter. You don't always need to do everything alone. Delegation is not only about giving work, it is also about trust. You trust others to handle some tasks, and you focus on what only you can do. This is how smart people manage time. They don't try to be busy. They try to be effective. If you try to do everything, you will do many things poorly. But if you focus on the right things, you will do important things well. Also, delegation reduces stress. When you carry everything, your mind becomes heavy. But when you share responsibilities, your mind becomes lighter. And a clear mind works better. So from today, stop trying to do everything. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing I should focus on? And then see what you can give to others. Because time management is not about doing more. It is about doing the right things. 11. Track how you spend your time. Most people think they don't have enough time. But the truth is different. They don't know where their time is going. Think about yesterday. Can you clearly say how you spent your time? Hour by hour. Most people can't. They remember a few things. But they don't see the full picture. And this is the problem. If you don't know where your time goes, you cannot control it. You cannot improve it. You cannot fix it. Time disappears quietly, not in big losses, but in small moments. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, a little distraction, a little delay. And at the end of the day, hours are gone. This is why tracking your time is powerful. Because it gives you awareness. And awareness changes everything. When you start tracking your time, you start noticing patterns. You see where you waste time. where you are
where
productive, where you get distracted. And once you see it, you cannot ignore it. You may realize you spend 1 hour on your phone without purpose, or you delay important work again and again, or you spend too much time on small tasks. This realization is powerful because now you know what to change. You don't need anything complicated. Just write down what you do from morning to night. Like 7 o'clock, wake up, 7:30, breakfast, 8 o'clock, phone, 9 o'clock, work. Keep it simple. At the end of the day, look at it. Ask yourself, was this a good use of my time? No judgment, just observation. This builds honesty, and honesty leads to improvement. Another benefit, tracking makes you more careful. When you know you are tracking your time, you think before wasting it. You become more aware of your actions. Also, tracking helps you stay accountable. Because now you cannot lie to yourself. You can see your reality clearly. You cannot manage what you don't measure. So if you want to control your time, first understand it. From today, start tracking, even for a few days, and you will learn more about your habits than ever before. 12. Reflect and improve every day. Most people live their day and forget it. They don't think about what they did. They don't learn from it. They just move to the next day. And because of that, they repeat the same mistakes again and again. But if you want to improve your time management, you must reflect. You must look back. You must ask, what did I do today? Reflection is simple. At the end of your day, take a few minutes. Sit quietly and think. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? What did I waste time on? What can I do better tomorrow? When you answer honestly, you start seeing patterns. You see your strengths. You see your weaknesses. And most importantly, you see what needs to change. Reflection is not about blaming yourself. It is not about feeling bad. It is about learning. If you made a mistake, don't feel guilty. Learn from it. If you wasted time, don't feel bad. Understand why and improve tomorrow. Because improvement happens daily. Not in one big moment, but in small corrections. Every day. Another important point. Reflection builds discipline. Because when you know you will review your day, you act more carefully. You think before wasting time. You make better decisions. Also, reflection gives you control. Because now you are not living blindly. You are living consciously. You know what you are doing and why you are doing it. Over time, this creates a powerful effect. Your days become better. Your habits become stronger. Your time becomes more valuable. Live your day. Then learn from your day. Then improve your next day. This cycle creates growth. And if you follow this daily, something amazing happens. You don't just manage your time. You start improving your life. Now before you leave, I want you to stop for a moment and think. Your life is not made of years. Your life is made of days. And your days are made of hours. And your hours are made of small choices. What you do with your time today is shaping your future tomorrow. Most people don't fail because they are not capable. They fail because they waste their time. They wait for the perfect moment. They delay important work. They give their time to things that don't matter. And slowly, days pass, then weeks, then years. And one day they realize they didn't use their time well. But you are not going to be that person. Because now you understand something powerful. Time is not something you spend. Time is something you invest. Every hour you use wisely builds your future. Every hour you waste takes you away from it. You don't need more time. You need better decisions. You don't need a perfect plan. You need consistent action. You don't need to change everything in one day. You just need to improve a little every day. Start small. Wake up with purpose. Follow your plan. Focus on one task. Avoid distractions. Use your time with intention. And at the end of the day, look back and learn. Then do better tomorrow. Because success is not one big action. It is small actions repeated every day. And remember this. You are in control. Not your phone, not your habits, not your excuses. You. So take control of your time. Because when you control your time, you control your life. Thank you for watching. And if you want to improve your English while learning powerful life lessons like this, subscribe and keep learning every day. Now go and use your time wisely.
이렇게 해서 전부 끝을 냈습니다. 제목은 How to manage your life. How to manage your time effectively. How to manage your time effectively 였습니다. 오늘 두 번째 쉐도잉이었습니다. 40분 정도 분량이네요. 마치겠습니다. 3월 27일 세 번째 쉐도잉 파일입니다. 이키가이, 삶의 의미라는 일본어죠. 이키가이라고 하는 책인데 일단 요약판, 썸머리에 대한 내용부터 쉐도잉을 해보겠습니다.
Today, you are not just going to hear a summary of a book. You are going to hear something that could change the way you look at your entire life. This video is not about tips or tricks. It's about something much deeper. Something that millions of people around the world are searching for. And maybe you are too. What if I told you there's a Japanese word that holds the secret to a long, happy, and meaningful life? And what if I told you that this word is not just a word, it's a way of living, a way of waking up every morning with peace, energy, and clarity in your heart? That word is Ikigai. Now before we begin, I want you to know, yes, this video might be long, because I will not rush this. I will explain everything in a way that even if you're hearing it for the very first time, and even if your English is very basic, you will understand it deeply, step by step, slowly, clearly, powerfully. And trust me, if you stay with me till the end, this might be the most meaningful video you've ever seen on YouTube. So now, let's begin the journey. Part 1. What is the meaning of life? Let me begin with the story. There was once a Japanese woman, a mother, a teacher, a kind human being, who suddenly fell into a coma. Her body was alive, but her mind was somewhere else. Doctors were not sure if she would survive. Her family stood beside her bed, crying silently. But something strange happened while she was unconscious. She said she found herself in a completely white space. Quiet. Peaceful. Still. And then she heard a voice. The voice asked her a question. Who are you? She answered softly. I'm a mother of 4 children. But the voice replied, we are not asking what you do. We are asking, who are you? She thought for a moment and said, I'm a school teacher. The voice repeated, that is your profession. But who are you? She said, I'm Japanese. I'm Buddhist. I'm a woman. And every time, the voice simply said, that is your culture. That is your religion. That is your gender. But still, who are you? And in that moment, she realized something. She had spent her entire life playing different roles: wife, mother, teacher, citizen. But she had never really asked herself that one powerful question. Who am I? Without all of it. The voice then said, when you know who you truly are,
who
you may return.
You may return.
And just like that, she woke up. Not everyone believed her story, but she didn't care. Because from that day on, she lived her life differently. She began searching for something deeper. Not a job, not a title, not a routine, but a reason. A reason to be alive. A reason to wake up every morning. A reason to smile, even on bad days. A reason to exist. That reason is what the Japanese call Ikigai. So, what is Ikigai? Ikigai is a beautiful word that means the reason for being. Or, in simpler words, the reason you get up in the morning. It is not just about making money. It is not about being famous. It is not about what society tells you to do. It is about something that lives deep inside you. A quiet voice that says, "This is why I'm here." Some people find it in their work. Some find it in taking care of others. Some find it in art, or teaching, or building, or growing food, or even just sharing smiles. But the important thing is, we all have one. You have one. I have one. Everyone has an Ikigai. The problem is, most of us forget to look for it. So how do we find it? That's where the 4 questions come in. These are not questions you answer quickly. These are questions you sit with. You reflect. You write. You think. And slowly, your real self begins to appear. Let's look at these 4 questions, one by one. Question 1. What do you love? This is the first and most important question. What is something that makes your heart feel alive? Something that gives you energy, not takes it away. Maybe you love cooking. Maybe you love writing stories. Maybe you love helping people, fixing things, solving problems, dancing, planting trees, cleaning your home with love, singing songs, or listening to others. This is not about what makes money. This is about what makes you happy. That's the first part of Ikigai. Question 2. What are you good at? We all have something we are naturally good at. Some people are good listeners. Some are good with their hands. Some are good with numbers. Some are great with children. Some are great at understanding how others feel. This doesn't have to be something the world sees. Even if it's something simple, like being a peaceful person in a chaotic world, that is a gift. Ask yourself, what do people often thank me for? What do I do well? Even if I don't try too hard. That's the second part. Question 3. What does the world need? This is not about saving the entire planet. This is about looking around and asking, how can I help someone today? Maybe your village needs fresh food. Maybe your friend needs someone to talk to. Maybe your neighborhood needs someone to care for the elderly. Maybe the world needs your voice, your kindness, your way of thinking. Ikigai is not selfish. It is about using what you love and what you're good at to make the world a little better. That's the third part. Question 4. What can you be paid for? Let's be honest. We all need to survive. But Ikigai says, what if your purpose could also support your life? Maybe you love teaching and you're good at it. Can you offer online classes? Maybe you love baking. Can you open a small bakery? Maybe you love writing. Can you write for others? This does not mean chasing millions. It means doing what you love in a way that also feeds you, supports your family, and gives you a stable life. That's the fourth part. Now, when you find something that answers all 4 questions, what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, that is your Ikigai. And when you live with Ikigai, you don't just survive, you live. Let me give you a real simple example. There is a woman named Maria. She's 32, and she lives in Brazil. Every morning, she wakes up at 5 a.m. and begins to bake. She prepares fresh bread for her small town. She doesn't own a big company. She doesn't make a huge income. But when she bakes, she feels alive. She forgets her stress. Her thoughts become calm. She smiles without trying. She gives her bread to others with love. And she earns just enough to live a quiet, peaceful life. Now think, what does Maria love? Baking. What is she good at? Creating beautiful recipes. What does the world need? Her town needs fresh, healthy food. What can she be paid for? Her bakery provides just enough income. This is her Ikigai. And the beauty is, your Ikigai doesn't have to be big. It just has to be true. Part 2. Understanding Ikigai and the circle of life. In the last part, you discovered 4 powerful questions. Questions that help you find your reason for being. But now, let's go deeper. Because the Japanese didn't just create the idea of Ikigai. They created a simple and beautiful diagram, a circle, to help people find it in a clear, powerful way. This is known as the Ikigai Venn diagram. And it's one of the most famous tools for self-discovery in the world today. But before we talk about the parts, let me explain the idea behind it. Imagine your life is a puzzle. You are not just your job. You are not just your dreams. You are not just your talent or your responsibilities. You are a combination of all these things. And when they connect in the right way, you feel whole. You feel peace. You feel purpose. You feel joy that is deeper than happiness. That is what this circle helps you find. Now let me explain the 4 parts again, but this time in a deeper way, with more understanding. 1. What you love. Your passion. This is something that fills you with energy. You lose track of time when you do it. You feel alive, creative, free. You don't need motivation when you do it, because you do it out of love. But passion alone is not enough. There are many people who love painting or writing or dancing, but they struggle because they can't turn it into a full life. So passion is just one piece of the puzzle. 2. What you are good at. Your profession. Now imagine you're really skilled at something. Maybe it's teaching or coding or designing. This is your profession. It's the thing you can do better than most people. But sometimes, people are good at things they don't love. They're stuck in jobs they hate. They're successful but empty, because they're missing the heart. So profession is another piece. But still, it's not the full picture. 3. What the world needs. Your mission. This is about service. It's about giving your life meaning beyond yourself. It's when you use your passion and skill to do something that helps others. A mission gives you a reason to grow, a reason to get up every morning, even when things are hard. But again, if your mission doesn't support your life, it becomes stressful. So this is a key part. But still, it's only a part. 4. What you can be paid for. Your vocation. This is where purpose meets stability. It's where you use your gifts to make a living. Without this, you may struggle with financial worry. You may feel lost, even if you love what you do. Because we all need to support ourselves and our families in some way. Vocation is your way to survive with dignity. Now watch what happens when these 4 things connect. If you combine what you love and what you're good at, but don't help others, you feel satisfaction, but something feels selfish or incomplete. If you combine what you're good at and what pays well but don't love it, you feel trapped. If you combine what the world needs and what you're paid for, but you're not good at it, you feel like a fake. If you combine what you love and what the world needs, but don't get paid, you burn out. But when all four connect, when you do something you love, something you're good at, something that helps others, and something that supports your life, that is your Ikigai. That is the circle. That is your center. That is where your soul finally feels at home. Example. Let's take a new example. David, a 45-year-old chef in Italy. David grew up loving food. As a child, he watched his grandmother cook fresh pasta every Sunday. He started cooking with her. He loved it. He felt alive. That's his passion. Then, over the years, he became really good at it. He studied, practiced, opened a small kitchen. People loved his food. That's his profession. But David didn't want to just make money. He wanted to give something more. So he started a small program to teach young kids from poor families how to cook, giving them skills and confidence. That's his mission. And yes, he earns enough from his restaurant and his classes. That's his vocation. So now, David wakes up early, cooks with joy, teaches with love, and lives with peace. Not just because of his career, but because he is living at the center of his Ikigai circle. Why this circle is so important? Because many people live their whole life in only one corner. Some live in passion without income and struggle with money. Some live in profession without love and feel empty. Some live in mission without skill and feel insecure. Some live in vocation without purpose and feel stuck. But those who live with Ikigai, they live in the center. And that's why Japanese elders, even at the age of 90, still wake up early, garden, cook, talk, walk, teach, paint, dance, sing. Not because they have to, but because they want to. Because they found their reason to live. That is the magic of the Ikigai circle. It's not just a diagram, it's a mirror. It shows you who you are and who you were meant to be. And now that you understand the circle, let's move to something even deeper. Part 3. How to find your own Ikigai. Now comes the real question. How do you find your Ikigai? Because it's easy to say, follow your passion. It's harder to know what your passion is. It's easy to say, do what you love. But what if you don't know what you love anymore? That's what we'll solve now. Slowly, carefully, and with love. Step 1. Start by remembering your childhood joy. Before the world told you who to be, before money, before fear, before pressure. What did you love doing as a child? Drawing, singing, playing outside, helping people, building things, solving puzzles. Those small things often hold big answers. Even if you can't do exactly the same thing now, the feeling behind it is a clue. Step 2. Notice what makes you forget time. Have you ever done something and hours passed like minutes? That's called flow. And flow is a sign of Ikigai. Think. When do you feel completely focused? What activity makes you forget to check your phone? What makes you feel this is me? Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's fixing machines. Maybe it's writing or creating or walking in silence. Start there. Step 3. Listen to compliments you always receive. Sometimes others see our gifts more clearly than we do. Ask yourself, what do people often thank me for? What do they always say I'm good at? Maybe you're the friend who always listens. Maybe you give the best advice. Maybe you organize things beautifully. Maybe you always make people laugh. These are not small things. These are keys to your purpose. Step 4. Explore. Don't decide. Finding Ikigai is not like finding a perfect answer in one day. It's more like trying on different clothes. You experiment. You explore. You try things. You notice what feels natural. You notice what drains you. Give yourself permission to try new things. Volunteer. Join a workshop. Start a small side project. Help someone for free. Take a class. Write a blog. Plant a garden. And slowly, your Ikigai begins to reveal itself. Step 5. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Your Ikigai will never come to you while sitting and overthinking. It comes through action. It comes through movement. Even one step a day is enough. Maybe you work a full-time job and you're tired. Start with just 10 minutes a day. Doing something you enjoy, something that feels meaningful. That small habit can become your new identity. Example. Let's meet Aisha, a 28-year-old woman living in Kenya. She works as a receptionist in a hotel. It pays the bills, but she doesn't feel inspired. One evening, a guest asked her to recommend a walking tour in the city. She said, "I'll show you myself." She walked the guest around the town, told stories, showed art, shared food stalls. And when they returned, the guest said, "You should do this for a living. You're amazing at this." Aisha felt something shift. She loved storytelling. She knew her city deeply. She had energy. People loved the way she explained culture. Now, every weekend, she organizes walking tours. She makes extra money, meets new people, and finally feels alive again. That's her Ikigai. And it started with just one walk. Finding your Ikigai is not a big loud moment. It's not a lightning strike. It's a quiet discovery. It's when you say, "This is what I'm meant to do." And you feel it, not just in your mind, but in your heart. And once you find it, even if you earn less money, even if you work harder, even if nobody else understands, you will wake up with energy. You will feel proud of who you are. And you will stop asking, "What's the point of my life?" Because now you'll know. Part 4. The 4 secrets to a long, happy, and healthy life. Now that you understand what Ikigai is and how to find it, let's go deeper. Because the Ikigai book doesn't just teach us how to live with purpose. It also teaches us how to live longer. Not just live more years, but live more beautiful years. So the question is, why do so many people in Japan, especially in Okinawa, live to 90, 100, even 110 years old? Is it medicine? No. Is it money? No. It's their lifestyle, their way of eating, moving, thinking, connecting, and living with purpose every single day. Let's explore the 4 big secrets of these joyful, long-living people. Secret 1. A healthy relationship with food. Harahachibu. In Okinawa, people follow a simple rule. Harahachibu, which means eat until you are 80% full. They don't overeat. They stop when they're slightly hungry. They eat slowly. They respect their food. They never waste. Their meals are full of vegetables, tofu, sweet potatoes, small amounts of fish, rice, green tea, miso soup, seaweed. They don't count calories. They simply eat mindfully. They treat food like medicine. In most parts of the world, people eat until they feel heavy. In Okinawa, they eat until they feel light. This small habit is one of the biggest reasons they live longer. They don't diet. They honor their bodies. Secret 2. Keep moving. even when you're 90. In most modern cities, old people sit all day. In Okinawa, they move. Every day, they walk, they garden, they sweep the floors, they stretch, they raise their hands to the sky, they cook, they shop, they serve, they care. Movement is not just about gym or exercise. It's about living in motion. Even the furniture in Okinawa helps this. Most people sit on the floor. That means every time they sit down or stand up, they're stretching their legs. They don't go to a gym, but they live longer than people who do, because they don't stop. Even at 95, they keep their bodies alive. One small step at a time. Secret 3. Strong community and connection. In Okinawa, people are part of something beautiful called a moai, a small group of friends who support each other for life. They meet regularly. They share food, stories, tea, laughter, sadness, memories. If someone falls sick, the group helps. If someone is lonely, they visit. If someone is happy, they celebrate together. In most cities today, people feel isolated, but in Okinawa, nobody is alone. This deep connection keeps the heart young. It gives people a reason to live, because they are not just living for themselves, they are living for each other. Secret 4. A clear purpose that never retires. This is the biggest difference between Okinawan life and modern life. In most countries, people work hard all their life, just to retire and rest. But in Okinawa, people never retire from purpose. Yes, they may stop a full-time job, but they don't stop living with Ikigai. A 102-year-old man may still play music. A 97-year-old woman may still tend her garden. An 89-year-old fisherman may still go to the sea for a few hours. Why? Because when your heart has purpose, your body keeps going. They don't wait for the weekend. They don't wait for vacation. They don't wait to be free. They are already free by rasasti, because they are doing what they love every day. Example. Mr. Kamada wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. He stretches his arms, eats a light breakfast, and walks around his tiny garden. He plants flowers. He checks on his vegetables. He calls his friend to ask if she's doing okay. He fixes small tools. He drinks green tea. He laughs often, and at night he goes to sleep with a smile. He says, I don't know when I will die, but I know I will live until the very last day. This is the heart of Ikigai, not living forever, but living fully, for as long as possible. Part 5. Retirement, work, and health. The hidden truth. Now let's talk about something that almost nobody wants to hear. But Ikigai teaches it clearly. Retiring early may not always bring happiness. In fact, for many people, retirement leads to sadness, boredom, loneliness, and even early death. Why? Because we are not made to do nothing. We are made to create, connect, grow, serve, learn, move. When people stop working completely, they often lose their sense of identity. They start asking, who am I now? What do I do all day? What is the point of my life now? This is not about working in an office until you're 90. This is about never retiring from purpose. Even if your job ends, your Ikigai must not. Real story. Tomoko, 87-year-old seamstress. Tomoko spent 60 years sewing clothes. She retired at 72. But after 1 year of doing nothing, she felt tired, anxious, and useless. One morning, she saw her old sewing machine in the corner. She turned it on. She began stitching small pouches and handkerchiefs. Then she started giving them away at the market. People loved them. They gave her hugs, smiles, and thank you letters. Now, at 87, she sews every day. Not for money, for love. She says, when I sew, I feel young again. My hands remember. My mind becomes calm. My heart is alive. Tomoko didn't return to a job. She returned to her Ikigai. Work is not the enemy. Meaningless work is. You are not made to do a job you hate for 40 years and then sit on a sofa forever. You are made to find something meaningful and do it in any way you can, for as long as you can. Even 10 minutes a day, even one act of kindness, even a small creation. That is how you stay alive. That is how you heal. That is how you grow. Part 6.
Part 6. The power of focus and the flow in daily work. Now let's talk about something beautiful that the book Ikigai teaches, something that can transform your everyday life. It's called flow. Flow is a state of a complete focus. It's when you are doing something and you forget time, you forget hunger, you forget stress. You are fully present, fully alive, fully yourself. Flow is not about big goal, it's about full attention. When do you feel flow? It could be when you cook a beautiful meal, write something from the heart, paint or design or sing, organize your space, help someone in pain, meditate or work in nature, fix something carefully, build a project, a model, a business. You don't do it for reward, you do it because the activity itself feels like a reward. This is flow, and it's one of the key to a long, meaningful life. Example, Kenji works in a small workshop in Japan. He makes wooden spoon, just a spoon, no loud machine, no marketing, no pay. But every day he holds a piece of wood like he's alive. He shapes it slowly with care. He smooths the edge. He polishes the surface. He watches how it catches. He doesn't look at the glue. He smiled. I'm not making spoon. I'm making peace with the world. This is flow. It's not about me busy. It's about being present. How to enter flow your own life. Start small. Turn off your phone. Choose one task. Don't forget the result. Just enjoy the process. That could be washing the business. That could be writing your thought in journal. The world today is full of distance, the problem back to yourself. And once you find the flow, you feel light. You feel clear. You feel alive, not just existing. So, if you're feeling like, don't look for escape. Look for flow. And let that be passed back to your Ikigai. Part 7. Successful, meaningful life. The daily wisdom Ikigai. Now that you understand what Ikigai is, you might wonder, how do these people actually live? What are their habits, their mindset? What do they do different from the rest of us? Because it's not just a big idea that changes your life. It's the small thing you do every single day. In Okinawa, many peaceful villages in Japan, people live by a set of quiet principles, but passed down from elder to child, from heart to heart. Here are 6 timeless rules that guide them. Simple words, but if you feel them, they will change you. Rule 1. Take it slow. Modern life is fast. Japanese life intentional. Walk slowly, breathe slowly, eat slowly, even drink tea slowly. Because when you slow down, you feel life. When you feel life, you feel peace. Rule 2. Surround yourself with good friends. They spend time with the people who make them laugh, cry, say, grow. Not big smile, but deep bound. A circle of people who would walk beside you. That is worth more than gold. Rule 3. Getting saved for your next birthday. It's not about having abs or six-packs. It's about moving every day, stretching, taking care of the only home your soul has, your body. Even gentle movement gives strength. Rule 4. Reconnect with nature. City life can make us forget that we are born. Go to the trees, walk up barefoot in grass, look at the sky, touch water, sit in silence near flowers. Nature doesn't speak, but it hears. Rule 5. Give thanks every meal, every morning, every gift, every person. They say thank you not just as a word, but as a way of living. Gratitude softens the heart and brightens the spirit. Rule 6. Live in the moment. Forget the past. Don't chase the future. Focus on the moment in front of you with your full heart. They don't multitask. They do with a presence, with peace. And finally, the most important, do something you love, that you are good at, that help others, that support your life. And do it not just as dream, but as your daily reality. Part A. Life lesson from Okinawa elders. Now let's step into the heart of the people who love actually live with Ikigai for 1900 even 110 years. In the Ikigai book, the author visited the village of Ogimi, the Okinawa, the place known as Village of Longevity. There they spoke to dozens of elders who were still healthy, happy, and living with a purpose. What these elders said was not science, it was soul. Let me give you some of the most beautiful lessons. Elder 1. Don't worry too much. This was said by a 102-year-old woman. She laughed and said, life gave us problems, but worry is a second problem we create ourselves. She didn't mean to ignore problems, but to face them without fear. She said, when you don't worry, you can think clearly. When you think clearly, you find the solutions. And when you find the solutions, the problem disappears. Elder 2. Always have something to do. A 99-year-old fisher said, I may not fish like, but I still go to the sea. I still feel the wind. I still fix my net. He explained that human need motion, not madness, but meaningful movement. His health stayed strong because his purpose never left. Elder 3. Talk to people. Even if you are sad, many elders say this. Shopkeeper's friends, even for just a few minutes, even if it was about important. One woman said, talking is like breathing. If you don't do it, your soul becomes heavy. Elder 4. Kill learning. A 91-year-old man was learning how to play a new musical instrument. He said, when you stop learning, your brain starts dying. I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of boredom. This lesson is about age does not kill people. Emptiness does. Elder 5. Do something that makes you feel useful. They don't care about fame or big success. They care about being needed. Helping a friend, cooking a meal, telling a story, telling a friend, sing a song. One said, as long as I can give something to the world, I am alive. These are not motivational quotes. These are real voices, real lives, real people who have found the quiet joy of Ikigai, not in books, but in how they live every single day. And if they can do it, so can we. Part 9. The Japanese secret of longevity and joy. Let's now go even deeper, because behind all these habits, behind all these smiles, There are steeper cultural values that shape the Japanese way of life. Values that most of our world has forgotten. Let's explore them now and understand how they create a life of balance, beauty, and quiet strength. Secret 1. Simplicity. Japanese homes are small. Their clothes are light. Their meals are simple. They believe less thing, more peace. Less noise, more clarity. Less pressure, more freedom. In a world full of more, they choose enough. Secret 2. Cleanness, clean space, clean heart. They believe your surroundings reflect your mind. They clean their home every morning. They take care of their garden. They remove household broken or unnecessary. This creates space, not just in their home, but in their mind. Secret 3. Ritual and respect. They turn simple moments into sacred ritual. Drink tea, greeting someone, preparing a meal. They bow with respect. They speak with softness. They treat the elderly with deep honor. Life becomes more meaningful when lived with mindfulness. Secret 4. Wabi-sabi. Beauty in imperfection. They don't chase perfection. They embrace imperfection. They crack in a bone, the wrinkle on skin, the fading color of autumn leaves. They believe what is broken is not ugly, it is full of stories. This makes life less stressful and more forgiving. Secret 5. Harmony with nature. Nature is not a place to visit. It is part of their identity. They walk under trees. They listen to birds. They grow food with their hands. They celebrate the season. While much of the world tries to control nature, they choose to live in harmony with it. Part 10. Laughter, joy, and the lightness of life, the therapy of the soul. Now let's talk about something that many people forget when they think about living a long life. We often focus on diet, movement, discipline, purpose. But what about joy? But what about laughter? And the village of Ogimi, the village of a long life. There's something you will notice quickly. The elder laugh a lot. They joy with each other. They tease, they play. They celebrate birthday, sing, song, wear colorful clothes. They don't take everything too seriously because they understand something the modern world forgets. Laughter is not just happiness. Laughter is a medicine. While laughter extends life, modern science has now confirmed what Japanese elders always knew. Laughter boosts the immune system, lowers stress hormone, improve blood, reduce pain, heal emotional wonder, and most of all, bringing people together. You don't need to go to hospital to heal your heart. Sometimes all you need is a good joke, a silly dance, a funny memory with a friend. How to add more laughter to your life? Don't take yourself too seriously. Laugh at your mistake. You are human. That's beautiful. Spend time with light-hearted people. Be around those who lift your energy, not those who bring you down. Watch something that makes you laugh every day, even for 10 minutes. Comedy is medicine. Be playful, dance, draw, tell jokes, be weird, be alive. Laugh with your family, even if they annoy you. Find a moment to smile together. Sometimes people ask, how can I laugh when life is hard? The Okinawa elders say, that's why I laugh, because life is hard. So let's joy be part of your Ikigai, not every success, not every peace, but as a path of peace, let joy be your therapy. Part 11. Life's greatest lesson, a final reflection. Now we are near the end, but this is not the end of the video. This is the beginning of a new way of living. Let me now bring together the most important unforgettable lesson from the entire journey. Lessons that are not just for today, but for your whole life. 1. You are not born to suffer. You are born to live. You are not here just to pay bills, not here just to obey, not here just to be. You are born to feel joy, to love, to create, to grow, to contribute, and smile at the sky. Life is not about what you do. It's about what you're doing. A simple job done with love is more beautiful than a big job done with stress. A simple meal cooked with care. A simple plant watered with attention. A simple child held with presence. That is life. That is Ikigai. 3. You are never too old, and it's never too late. You can begin again. You can start today. Even if you feel lost, even if you are 60, even if you think it's over. Ikigai doesn't care about. Ikigai only asks, what will you do with this moment now? 4. Purpose doesn't have to be. It has to be true. You don't have to change the world. You just have to do something that feels honest, simple, and meaningful. Even if one person smiles because of you, your life has meaning. But you already have anything you need. You don't need a more degree, more powers, more clothes, more pain. You just need time. You need attention. You need courage. And you need love. And you already have that inside you. Example. There was once a young man who was disgraced to die with regret. His grandfather worked hard his entire life, saved money, bought property, followed rules. But before he passed away, he said something the young man could never forget. I waited my whole life to live, and I ran out of time. That young man made a promise. He would not wait. He started writing. He started working in nature. He started learning to play music. He started smiling more. He earned less, but he felt more. He helped more. He lived more. And 20 years later, he still remembers that moment, not with sadness, but with gratitude. Because Ikigai gave him the strength to live before it was too late. Part 12. You are born with Ikigai. Don't die without it. This is the final part of this journey, but maybe it's the first chapter of your new life. There's a reason this book has reached millions of people around the world, because Ikigai is not a trend, it is a truth. It means you don't have to chase happiness, you don't have to wait for success, you don't have to compare yourself, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to find the reason you wake up every morning, even if nobody understands, even if it's quiet and simple. Example, you are watching this not by accident. Maybe your soul was ready to hear this word. Maybe your heart was waiting for permission to live again. So here it is. You are allowed to restart. You are allowed to smile again. You are allowed to follow your curiosity. You are allowed to become the person your younger self dreamed of. Ikigai is already inside you. And if you still don't know what it is, that's okay. Start small, start now, start again tomorrow. But never stop. When people in Ikigai, Japan, asked, what is your secret to a long and happy life? They didn't say, be rich. They didn't say, work hard. They didn't say, win an award. They said, stay curious, stay kind, stay connected, and wake up every day with something to do. That is Ikigai. That is what I hope this video will give you. Not just a summary of a book, but a doorway to yourself. You are not broken. You are just waiting to begin. So take a deep breath and begin. So what did you learn from this journey? Ikigai is not a goal. It's not something you chase. It's not in the future. It's the quiet reason you open your eyes in the morning. It's the small joy in doing what you love. It's the peace of knowing you are needed. It's the power of waking up with meaning, not noise. You don't need to move to Japan. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present and the truth who you really are. Find your Ikigai and live it gently, fully, beautifully. Thank you for walking with me through this journey. I hope it touched your heart. I hope it gave you clarity. And I hope somehow inside you, it helped you begin again. If this will made you feel something, even a little, please leave a comment, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to this channel. Not for the algorithm, but so more people like you can feel alive again. Take care of your mind, take care of your heart, take care of, and always remember, you were not born to be lost. You are born to live with the Ikigai. I'll see you in the next story. Until then, stay alive, stay gentle, stay true. Bye. 예, 이렇게 해서 이키가이 요약판 읽기가 끝이 났습니다. 이키가이에 대한 관심이 조금 더 높아지는데